The 7 Secrets to Boost Self-Confidence by Levi Holiday Green. Episode 1. Anchoring Self-Confidence in Our Daily Lives. Welcome to Continuous Elevation. Beyond Self-Confidence, a podcast series dedicated to all those who aspire to transform their lives by cultivating deep and lasting confidence in themselves. Through this series, we will delve into the heart of what makes self-confidence not only a powerful feeling, but an essential foundation for achieving our boldest dreams and living a truly fulfilled life. Each episode is an invitation to explore different aspects of self-confidence, to understand how it is built, nurtured, and, most importantly, how it can become the engine of profound personal transformation. Whether you are at the beginning of your journey towards better self-esteem or seeking to deepen an already established confidence, this series offers you inspiring stories, practical advice, and profound reflections to guide you. We will share stories of real people who have overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles, reached unforeseen heights, and made significant changes in their lives simply by relying on the strength of their self-confidence. These stories will not fail to touch you, motivate you, and perhaps even transform you. Continuous Elevation Beyond Self-Confidence is more than just a podcast series. It is a community of hearts and minds resolved to grow, rise, and shine. Join us on this moving and liberating journey. Together, let's discover how far self-confidence can lead us. Welcome to the first episode of our series, Continuous Elevation Beyond Self-Confidence. Today, we explore a fundamental aspect of our personal development, anchoring self-confidence in our daily lives. Self-confidence is not just a fleeting feeling, but an inner strength that is built and nurtured through our actions, thoughts, and the people around us. In this episode, we will share inspiring stories that illustrate how, in the face of various challenges, anchoring self-confidence transforms our perception of ourselves and the world around us. Get ready to embark on a journey that will reveal self-confidence as you've never seen it before. Anchoring is a powerful concept in psychology that refers to our ability to find a stable and solid base in our identity and beliefs, no matter the external turbulence or challenges we encounter. It is a practice that allows us to remain centered, aligned, and true to ourselves, even in moments of doubt or change. The importance of anchoring in developing self-confidence. Anchoring is crucial for building and maintaining self-confidence because it involves consolidating our values, principles, and understanding of who we are. This can manifest in several ways in our daily lives. 1. Consistency in actions. When we are anchored, our actions reflect our internal values and beliefs. This creates coherence between what we think, say, and do, which reinforces our self-confidence. Each consistent action is an affirmation of our ability to live according to our own standards. 2. Emotional stability. Anchoring helps us remain calm and focused, even when facing criticism or failures. This emotional stability is crucial for maintaining solid self-confidence, as it allows us to respond to challenges thoughtfully rather than impulsively or defensively. 3. Resilience. Anchoring strengthens our resilience by reminding us of our past strengths and successes in moments of doubt. This helps us see failures not as catastrophes, but as natural and necessary steps on the path of personal growth. How to develop a solid anchor. 1. Mindfulness practice. Taking time each day to be fully present with our thoughts and emotions helps strengthen our connection with ourselves. This can include practices like meditation, journaling, or simply moments of quiet reflection. 2. Positive affirmations. Affirmations are powerful statements we can use to reinforce our identity and beliefs. Repeating affirmations such as, I am capable, I overcome my challenges with courage, or I trust my decisions, can anchor these truths in our mind and positively influence our self-esteem. 3. Supportive surroundings. The people around us can greatly influence our ability to stay anchored. Surrounding ourselves with people who support our values and encourage us can enhance our self-confidence and emotional stability. Dear listeners, anchoring is not just a practice, but a way of life. It is about continually cultivating a solid foundation of who we are and what we believe in, allowing us to navigate confidently through life's waves. By firmly anchoring ourselves in our identity and values, we open the door to a self-confidence that not only survives the storms, but thrives within them. Let me share some inspiring stories of people just like you, who have discovered and anchored self-confidence in their daily lives, profoundly and sustainably transforming their lives. 1. Charlotte's first presentation. Imagine yourself in Charlotte's shoes. A bright young woman with a mind teeming with innovative ideas, but whose heart races at the thought of standing in the spotlight. Charlotte represents the challenge many of us face: having a passion, a vision, but feeling restrained by the insidious whisper of anxiety, the voice that suggests we may not be good enough, that our place is in the shadows, away from scrutiny. Yet, faced with one of the greatest opportunities of her life, Charlotte chooses not to let this voice define her future. The night before her presentation, a pivotal moment in her entrepreneurial journey, she engages in an unconventional yet powerful preparation ritual. Standing before her mirror, she adopts power poses, stances that, in the universal language of the body, exude confidence, assurance, and strength. Through each posture, she reminds herself that she is capable, that she has overcome challenges in the past, and that she can do so again. That night, Charlotte doesn't just rehearse her speech. She forges a suit of confidence. She visualizes her success, feeling every word of her speech flow through her with ease and power. She recalls the small victories that have dotted her journey, every moment where she chose to step forward despite fear. It's this accumulation of victories, big and small, that builds a solid foundation on which she can stand proudly. On the big day, as she takes the stage, it's not just an entrepreneur standing before a group of investors. It's a transformed woman, buoyed by the deep certainty of her worth and the relevance of her project. Charlotte discovers that her true strength lies in her ability to recognize and celebrate her own value, regardless of others' opinions. Her presentation, far from being just a delivery of ideas, becomes a vibrant testimony to her personal transformation. What we learn from Charlotte is that self-confidence is not an innate gift, but a flame we can all ignite through practice, preparation, and perseverance. Her story is an invitation to each of us to explore ways in which we can transform our own anxiety into driving force, to recognize our intrinsic value, and to dare to take our place in the spotlight of our own lives. Dear listeners, let Charlotte's story inspire you to adopt your own power poses, to recall your successes, and to walk confidently towards your dreams. knowing that the source of your strength already resides within you. 2. James's marathon. Imagine James, a man who, for years, saw himself through the lens of an identity he believed immutable, that of non-athletic. This label, which he wore like a second skin, not only defined him in his activities, but also in his perception of himself and his limits. The idea of running a marathon, this feat that many associate with the ultimate test of strength, endurance, and willpower, seemed as distant to him as reaching the stars. Yet, a spark of curiosity, a desire to test himself, to push those self-imposed limits, leads him to make a decision that would transform his life. James embarks on the marathon adventure, step by step, kilometer by kilometer. Each day of training becomes a battle, not so much against distance or time, but against the inner voices that whisper to him that he can't, that he's not cut out for it. In the face of these moments of intense doubt, James finds refuge and strength in a simple yet powerful ritual. Positive affirmations. I am strong. I am resilient. I am capable. He repeats to himself, over and over. These words become his shield against discouragement, his mantra in the storm of effort. They accompany him, step by step, reminding him that true strength lies not in the ability to avoid suffering, but in the ability to continue despite it. On Marathon Day, each step is a testament to his transformation. As he crosses the finish line, tears in his eyes and his heart beating not only from exhaustion but from immense pride, James realizes that the most significant victory is the one he has won over himself. This marathon, far more than a race, has become a metaphor for his life. Tangible proof that the most insurmountable barriers are those we build in our minds. His realization goes beyond physical performance. It embodies an inner journey to confidence and self-redefinition. James teaches us a valuable lesson. With determination, a positive mindset, and faith in our own abilities, we can radically transform not only our view of ourselves, but our entire lives. Dear listeners, may James's story inspire you to question the labels you impose on yourself, to push the boundaries of what you believe possible, and to discover the strength and confidence that lie within each of you. Remember, every step, every effort, every affirmation is another brick in the building of your self-confidence. 3. Elizabeth's transformation. Imagine Elizabeth, a woman whose heart has been put to the test, shaken by a breakup that left deep scars, doubts about her own worth. In the silence of her mornings, facing pain and loneliness, she discovers a refuge, a lifeline in the tumultuous ocean of her emotions. Writing. This simple act of picking up a pen and opening her journal becomes a sacred ritual, a moment of deep connection with herself. Every day, before the world awakens, Elizabeth engages in a revolutionary act of self-love. She writes down 3 qualities she admires in herself, 3 reasons to be proud of the person she is. Some days, these words flow easily, while others demand digging deeper into the reserves of her shaken self-esteem. But no matter the difficulty, she persists. It's not just a list of qualities. It's an affirmation of her intrinsic value, a declaration of war against the internal voices that try to minimize her. By daily reminding herself of her ability to love despite grief, her sense of humor that shines even in moments of sadness, her creativity waiting to be expressed, Elizabeth embarks on a journey of inner healing. Slowly, the pages of her journal fill not only with words, but with a palpable transformation. Elizabeth begins to see herself in a new light, not as the victim of a lost love story, but as the heroine of her own life, rich in qualities and potentialities. This change in perspective is not a quick process, but every word written is a step towards reclaiming her self-esteem. Over time, this practice of self-gratitude leads Elizabeth to a liberating realization. Her worth doesn't depend on any relationship, on any external gaze. It's intrinsic, unalterable by life's trials. This revelation illuminates her existence with a newfound, authentic confidence, a radiance that attracts new opportunities, new connections, a life enriched with meaning and joy. Dear listeners, Elizabeth's story is a powerful reminder that the source of our strength often lies in the simplest acts. That writing, or any other form of personal expression, can be a powerful tool to reaffirm our worth and rebuild our confidence. It invites us to search within ourselves for the qualities that make us unique and precious, and to celebrate them every day as the foundation of our resilience and fulfillment. 4. Matthew's challenge. Imagine Matthew, an individual whose heart tightens at the mere thought of impromptu social interaction. For him, every potential conversation with a stranger doesn't evoke the possibility of enriching connection, but rather an ocean of anxiety, a fear so deep that it threatens to keep him imprisoned in a world of comfortable but limited solitude. Matthew's decision to talk to one stranger a day stems from a deep desire to break these chains of isolation, to free himself from the paralyzing grip of social anxiety. This challenge, far from being a simple exercise, becomes for Matthew a true act of bravery. Each attempt at conversation is, at first, a battle against his own nature, a conscious effort to push the boundaries of what he believed possible. The initial exchanges are marked by endearing awkwardness, words struggling to breach the barrier of his trembling lips. Yet, as the days go by, something extraordinary begins to happen. Matthew discovers a universe of varied perspectives, fascinating life stories hidden behind the faces of these strangers he once feared. He learns that each person possesses unique stories, valuable teachings to offer, and that the act of listening can be just as powerful as that of speaking. Gradually, fear gives way to insatiable curiosity, an enthusiasm for discovering the other. This journey of transformation not only changes the way Matthew interacts with the world, it also revolutionizes his perception of himself. By stepping out of his comfort zone, one conversation at a time, he builds a self-confidence hitherto unimaginable. He realizes that courage doesn't lie in the absence of fear, but in the ability to act despite it. Matthew's social and professional life is deeply enriched as a result. He forms connections, opens doors that were once closed to him, and finds authentic joy in the art of conversation. This challenge, which began as an attempt to overcome a fear, transforms into an exciting adventure towards personal fulfillment. Dear listeners, may Matthew's story inspire you to embrace your own fears, to recognize the hidden richness in every encounter, and to discover the confidence that builds step by step, conversation after conversation. Remember that the path to self-confidence often lies in the courage to expand the boundaries of our own world. 5. Emily's recognition. Emily, a painter, struggles with imposter syndrome. Emily had always doubted her talent, with every finished canvas being a battle against imposter syndrome. The decision to keep a gratitude journal, focused on the positive feedback received for her art, was a turning point. At first, noting every compliment, every word of encouragement felt strange to her, almost pretentious. Yet, day after day, rereading these comments, Emily began to see her works through the eyes of her admirers. She realized that her art resonated with people, that it touched their emotions and experiences powerfully and meaningfully. This realization was a revelation. She wasn't an imposter in the art world. She was a creator whose work had genuine value. Armed with this newfound confidence, Emily organized her first solo exhibition, an event that not only celebrated her talent but also solidified her confidence in her artistic path. Her practice of gratitude, simple yet revolutionary, helped her recognize and embrace her own worth, forever changing her approach to art and life. 6. James' story. Rebuilding after a loss. James, a former business owner, sees his life turned upside down after a devastating bankruptcy. Far from being discouraged, he uses this trial to reassess his true passions and talents. James had devoted over 10 years to his technology company, a long-held dream he had realized after years of hard work. However, following poor strategic decisions and a constantly evolving market, his business began to suffer. The bankruptcy was a hard blow, not only financially, but also personally, as he had invested his identity in his role as a business leader. In the months following the bankruptcy, James often found himself isolated, haunted by failure. It was only when he began visiting his local library again, a place he had cherished since childhood, that he felt a sense of peace and belonging. The books transported him away from his immediate concerns and reminded him of his childhood passions for literature and history. Encouraged by his visits to the library, James decided to reinvent himself. He took courses in small business management and volunteered at the library to reacclimate to a work environment without the pressure of leading a company. Over time, he developed the idea of opening a bookstore that would also serve as a cafe, a space for the community to meet and share ideas. With his savings and a small loan, James opened the Blue and Orange Cafe pages. He carefully selected each book, organized reading evenings and writing workshops, creating a cultural venue in his town. His bookstore became a haven for those seeking refuge in books and conviviality. James began to share his story of resilience and rebirth at community events, inspiring other entrepreneurs not to fear failure, but to use it as a stepping stone. His bookstore was not just a business, but a testament to his ability to overcome obstacles and rebuild a life filled with passion and meaning. Each small success at the bookstore reinforced James' confidence. He realized that his identity did not depend on a single aspect of his life, but could be redefined and enriched by his experiences and passions. The confidence he rebuilt each day was a source of inspiration for all those around him, and the bookstore became a symbol of his personal journey towards healing and renewal. 7. Richard's story. battling addiction and rediscovering life. Mark, once overwhelmed by addiction, hit rock bottom when his behavior threatened to destroy his family relationships. The realization of his need for change led him to a rehabilitation program, where he worked intensively on himself. Richard was a recognized professional in his field, but constant pressure at work and unresolved personal issues had slowly pushed him towards substance abuse. What began as an occasional means of decompression quickly turned into a severe dependency. The addiction began to take over, affecting his professional performance and creating growing tensions with his family. One evening, during a particularly intense argument with his sister Pamela, Richard realized the devastating impact of his behavior not only on himself but also on his loved ones. In a moment of raw emotion, his sister expressed her fear of losing him. This was the turning point for Richard, who understood that he needed to seek help before it was too late. Richard enrolled in a recognized rehabilitation program, where he was confronted with the harsh reality of his addiction during intensive sessions of individual and group therapy, and monitored by health care professionals. He learned strategies to manage his triggers and emotions, a crucial aspect of his recovery. Group therapies allowed him to feel less alone in his struggle, sharing experiences and support with others battling their own demons. Throughout his therapy, Richard rediscovered passions and talents he had neglected. He took up painting, an old passion, finding in art a healthy outlet for his frustrations and sorrows. This artistic engagement became an essential part of his therapy, helping to restore his confidence and reaffirm his identity beyond addiction. Strengthened by his experience, Richard decided to engage in supporting others facing addictions. He underwent specific training in prevention, care, and support in addictionology. Then he started by becoming a mentor in the rehabilitation program that had helped him, sharing his story and strategies for success with new participants. His commitment didn't stop there. He initiated a community project to create an artistic space where people in rehabilitation could learn and practice art as a form of therapy. Richard's story became a powerful testimony to the possibility of change and the strength of rebuilt self-confidence. His work with others not only reinforced his own sobriety, but also gave him a sense of purpose and community, proving that each person is capable of overcoming their own struggles with the right support and confidence. Richard continues to inspire those around him, illustrating how regained self-confidence can transform not only an individual life, but also enrich an entire community. 8. David's story. From doubt to the stage. David, a shy and reserved young man, secretly dreamed of becoming an actor. However, paralyzed by doubt and fear of judgment, he had never dared to step on stage. One day, he decides to sign up for a local theater class, encouraged by a friend. David grew up in a small town where theatrical opportunities were limited. Since his childhood, he was fascinated by movies and plays, secretly dreaming of shining on stage. However, his timid nature and fear of being judged always held him back. At school, he avoided presentations and public activities, fearing ridicule. Everything changed when a new friend, Theo, noticed his interest in theater and encouraged him to sign up for a local theater class. Theo, a theater enthusiast himself, talked about the benefits of acting not only for personal expression but also for building self-confidence. Pushed by his friend, David took the plunge and enrolled. not without apprehensions. The first sessions were challenging for David. He felt uncomfortable, his hands shaking when he had to introduce himself or read a script in front of others. But he was surrounded by an understanding coach and supportive peers who encouraged him at every small step forward. Gradually, through exercises designed to break the ice and build confidence, he began to relax and immerse himself in the characters he played. Over the weeks, David began to notice a change in himself. The techniques learned, such as breath control and voice projection, not only translated into improvements on stage, but also in his daily life. He became more assertive, more open in his interactions with others, and less concerned about external judgment. The preparation for his first public performance was intense. David was chosen for a role that required him to express a range of complex emotions. Rehearsals were demanding but also incredibly rewarding. On the night of the performance, despite intense stage fright, he managed to deliver a performance that surprised and moved his audience. The applause he received at the end of the play was abundant and genuine. The positive feedback from this first experience was a turning point for David. He realized that his self-image was not fixed and that he could redefine himself through his actions and passions. Motivated by his success, he continued to participate in other productions, exploring different genres and roles. Each new role was an opportunity for growth, and a step further away from the timid man he once was. The confidence David gained through theater began to reflect in all aspects of his life. He became more socially engaged, more comfortable in professional interactions, and even ready to take risks he would never have considered before. Theater, initially a simple hobby, transformed into a passion that guided him toward a more fulfilled and confident life. David, now transformed, is living proof that exploring one's passions and overcoming fears can pave the way for profound and lasting transformation. As we come to the end of this episode, it is clear that self-confidence is much more than just a desirable quality. It is an essential component of our being that, once anchored, allows us to navigate life with assurance and determination. The stories we have shared today are just a few examples of the transformative power of anchoring self-confidence. Whether you're like Charlotte, Matthew, facing your fears, like James, pushing your limits, or like Emily, rediscovering your worth, remember that every step you take is a step towards a more confident and fulfilled version of yourself. Dear listeners, I want to remind you that the journey doesn't end here. For those of you who wish to deepen your exploration, practice, and boost your self-confidence, the book, The 7 Secrets to Boost Self-Confidence, by Levi Holiday Green, is here to guide you every step of the way. You will find tips and practical exercises to strengthen your self-confidence and self-esteem. By relying on these principles, you can learn to redefine your self-perception, to value your successes, to learn from your mistakes, and to engage in a path of personal improvement. These secrets could be concrete steps to help you open your own doors, to remove the barriers you've erected, and to walk confidently towards your aspirations. The book is available in English under the title, The 7 Secrets to Boost Self-Confidence, by Levi Holiday Green. The book exists in paperback and Kindle formats. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Costco, as well as several other online book-selling platforms. It is also possible to place an order directly with a sales advisor at your favorite physical bookstore. To get your book, Simply click on the link in the description of this podcast, or visit the website linktree/Levi Holiday Green. Don't wait to start transforming your life. The time is now. If you need more in-depth support, feel free to complement the practices in the book, The 7 Secrets to Boost Self-Confidence, by Levi Holiday Green, with a consultation with a professional such as a therapist, psychologist, or coach to accompany you in your personal transformation process. To go further, explore the Levi Holiday Green shop for the self-development e-book, Boosting Self-Esteem, a practical guide to building better self-esteem. You can find it at https://buymecoffee.com/Levi Holiday Green/extras. You will find the link in the description of this episode. Feel free to like and share this podcast episode widely, and to comment on this episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Levi Holiday Green writes, "Thank you for being with us today. Keep building that confidence. Keep rising. And until our next encounter, remember, continuous elevation is a journey, not a destination." See you very soon.